Hello, everyone. We will be getting started with the live Q&A webinar shortly. We are going to wait just a minute or two to help ensure that everybody who has registered gets a chance to join the meeting, and then we will start taking questions. In the meantime, feel free to open up the chat tool on your Zoom toolbar. Let us know where you're joining from and what kind of work you oversee. It's always nice to get to know you a bit better in these sessions. My name is Cara, and I am joined by my team member, Tiffany. We work on the onboarding team at When I Work, and our goal is to help get new users up and running with When I Work scheduling and attendance tools. Myself and Tiffany have both been with When I Work for a while now, and we have seen accounts for a wide variety of workplaces and industries from all over the world. So no matter what your workplace needs, I am sure our team has seen something very similar that we can help get you set up for success. Thanks for chatting in, Kendra from Ohio. Kendra's running a Crumbl store. Awesome. We have a lot of Crumbl stores already in our system. So welcome. Great to have you with us. Jeff is from College Hunks, Moving Junk in Fort Worth, Texas. We also have a lot of those workplaces using When I Work as well. Fantastic. Thanks, everybody. I want to be sure we get to as much as possible during this time. So let's get going. For anybody who has just joined, welcome to our live Q&A session. We are excited to help you get started with When I Work today. For the next about 30 minutes, we will be answering your questions about When I Work scheduling and attendance tools. We're going to show you some ways that you can save time creating the schedule, managing timesheets, and communicating with your team. We'll get to as many questions as we can during this time, but if for some reason your question does not get answered, or you think up another question afterwards, or would like some further help, you can always chat with us after, and we'll provide some more information at the end of the session on how you can get in contact with us. So stick around for that. So this session is centered around your questions. To ask us a question, click that Q&A button on your bottom Zoom toolbar and type out your question. Tiffany will be going through and asking some of those questions out loud so we can demonstrate in our When I Work account. Also, depending on where we are in the session, she may also rearrange some of the questions that come in or type them out, type out some answers for you, but we will be sure to get to as many questions as we can during this time. So with that, I am going to switch over to my When I Work account and give a quick overview of navigating the web app. So right now I am logged in as the main admin on the account. The admin level user has the ability to manage everything that is within the account. So managing the scheduler, managing attendance, managing the settings, being able to configure all of the employees and other workplace items, and also having access to the account and billing page where the plan can be selected for the account. As you log in, you will be directed to the dashboard. This is a great snapshot of what you have going on in your workplace for the day, including today's schedule, an overview of who is scheduled, clocked in, if you have any employees with time off. You can also jump to these different areas of the account right from the dashboard. We also have the attendance notices section. If any employees have clocked in or out early for their scheduled shift or were a no-show for their scheduled shift, they would be listed right here, and you can address those notices right from the dashboard. We also have a few graphs to help you out. Breakdown of assigned shifts. You can see this broken down by position, or if you use job sites, by job sites. Worked labor cost for the last 7 days, so you can see which positions and job sites, what percentage of your labor costs they make up, and your pay period forecast, which compares those scheduled hours from the scheduler to the worked hours on the timesheet, so you can always make sure that you are on budget throughout your pay period. Moving over, we have the scheduler. This is where shifts are added, and you can publish them out to your employees to notify them of their schedule. Our next section here is the attendance section. So this has everything to do with those worked hours. You will see some options for clocking in and out depending on what's enabled in your account. We also offer the time tracker section, which is a super useful tool for seeing who's currently clocked in for the day, whose shifts are still in progress, and you can hover to compare that to the shift on the scheduler. We also have the timesheet section. This is where you're going to spend the most time in the attendance area, managing those clock in and out times for employees and closing out your pay period so you can generate reports. Next over, we have the work chat section. This section is an in-app messaging system with all of your employees. There are a few different ways that you can set this up. So if you want this to just be an all workplace announcement channel, you can, or if you want to allow employees to be able to start conversations and chat amongst themselves, you can certainly do that as well. This is a super useful tool for keeping all of your communications right within the same place that you're doing scheduling and attendance. This can help reduce those random text messages or post-it notes on your desk and keeping all of your communications with your employees really streamlined. Next over, we have the request menu. This is where you can add time off requests, view and process those time off requests. We also have a section for processing shift requests, which are going to be those shift coverage options we offer, like swapping and dropping shifts, and open shift requests, which is part of our shift bidding feature. Next over is the workplace menu. This is where you have the building blocks of your account, those workplace items like your list of employees, positions, schedules, and job sites to manage locations. If you have any pre-made shift templates, you can easily apply shifts to the scheduler. A report section, task lists that you can set up to assign to days on the schedule or certain employee shifts, and a document storage section for sharing any needed PDFs with your team. Next over is our settings menu under this gear icon. You'll have all of your settings from general scheduling attendance. This is also where you will set up any integrations like those payroll integrations that we offer. And as the admin, you can also jump to the account and billing page to manage your plan and billing. Lastly, we have the profile menu. This is where you have those personal settings for your profile, where you can update your contact information, view your personal schedule, your personal availability, and manage your notifications that you're receiving. So with that, let's get started with some questions.
Awesome. Our first question is, how can I input availability for my employees?
Great question. So availability is one of the features that is super helpful for giving your employees the flexibility and responsibility for managing their own shifts and schedules. This makes it super easy for both employee and employer to get employees into the shifts that they want to work. So to add availability for yourself or another employee on the account, you can hover over the workplace menu and select employees. From there, you will press this circled check mark icon to jump to that employee's availability calendar. And employees can also add availability preferences through the mobile app, so they can do this on the go as well. You can add a preference to any future date. So as you add a preference, you will have the ability to mark that as unavailable to work or prefer to work. You can set certain times or have that preference be all day. And you can even set that up to repeat up to a year out. So let's head back to the scheduler so I can show you what those look like. So on the scheduler, you will see these availability preferences to help guide your scheduling. If somebody has blocked off a full day as unavailable, you will see that as a block on the scheduler. If they have only blocked off certain times as unavailable, you will see this gray flag, and you can hover over that to see exactly what times they input as unavailable. Very similar for availability preferences when they prefer to work. You can just hover over that green triangle and see the times that are preferred to work. The really great thing about availability preferences is as you are scheduling for employees, any shifts that fall in that unavailable preferences will be grayed out. So this can help guide your scheduling. You can select one of the shift templates that aligns with their preferences. But since this is just a preference, you can still select shifts that interfere with their unavailable preferences. If an employee wants some guaranteed time off, they would want to use our time off feature instead, which will give them time off for a certain time range or time off all day. Preferences are just a loose way to help guide the scheduling.
Awesome. Our next question is, how do I create a shift template?
Great question. So there are two ways that you can create a shift template. For a bit of background, shift templates are these pre-made shifts that you see as you schedule on the scheduler. And you can click them to quickly apply them to the scheduler. This can help save you a lot of time if you have shifts that you use over and over. So to create a shift template, you can do that directly from the scheduler by pressing an open cell, pressing create custom shift, adding in all of those details. So the time, the position, a job site if needed, and then you can check this save as template checkbox, and that will automatically save that shift and its details as a template that you can use later. We have one more way you can create shift templates, and that's by hovering over the workplace icon and heading to the shift templates page. So from here, you can add a new shift template, or if you have an existing template that you want to delete or edit, that can be done from this page as well.
Awesome. Our next question is, can I track tasks during the day for my employees?
Great question. Absolutely. I am going to hop over to our task list area here under the workplace icon so I can show you how to set up those different task lists. So we offer two different types of task lists in the system. The first of those being team tasks. Team tasks are assigned to a certain day on the scheduler, and anybody who is working a shift that day can complete those tasks. If you want tasks that are assigned to a specific employee that you would like them to accomplish during their shift, you can use shift tasks instead. So when you're assigning team tasks, you will set up your task lists with the tasks that you want employees to complete. And then you can set this up to repeat on certain days through the week. For a shift task, you can go directly to the scheduler, open up a shift, and select the task list from there. So let's select this one and save that shift. Then as the administrator, I can click on this clipboard icon for the date to monitor the tasks that are being completed. You will see your list and the percent completed it is. If you click into this list, you will also see which ones have been checked off and who checked them off and what time that task was completed. So this gives you a really great view into what still needs to be done for the day. There's also that shift task section. So if an employee is assigned a shift task list, you can do the same and see what has been checked off so far and the percentage that it is done. One thing to note is that employees will check off the tasks from their mobile app. So we offer both a app for Android and iOS devices, and employees will just see a flag on their dashboard when they log into their profile that says this many tasks are yet to be completed for the day. They can click into that and check off their tasks.
Wonderful. Our next question comes from Victor. And his question is, do separate sites only have access to their location? And I think it's a great time to go over schedules and job sites and how schedules completely separate your employees on the scheduler page.
Sure. This is a wonderful question. So We have two different ways that you can manage your different locations within When I Work. The first of those is schedules. So you can set up schedules by hovering over the workplace menu again and hopping into schedules. From here, you can add your schedule and the address. Schedules are a great way to manage if your employees are working out of different departments or different regions, and you would like everyone to have their own schedule that they are assigned to without having access to all the schedules on the account. I have a separate account here that is set up with multiple schedules. So let's hop into that so we can get a better view of what using multiple schedules will look like. So I hop over to the scheduler. I have a few different schedules on this account for my coffee shop. Each location has its own schedule. So I can flip between the different schedules and see which employees are assigned to that scheduling grid. Another great thing about this is if you have employees that go between locations, you'll see like Ari here, he is scheduled on the Northeast schedule. That will show up in the background in gray so you don't double book employees. And you will see from the employees page here that employees are only tagged to the schedules that they can work. So for example, Graham will only see his schedule for Southside. He won't be able to see any of the other schedules. So it's a great way to narrow things down, or if you have certain supervisors that work in certain schedules, a great way to help manage those different departments, regions, front of house, back of house, all of that. So I'm going to switch back over to the first account I was in so we can go over job sites. So job sites, again, you can set up under this handy workplace menu by clicking into job sites. Here, this is where you have the option to add a particular location to a shift. So instead of tagging an employee to a certain scheduling grid, job sites are optional and can be attached to a shift. So let me show you what that looks like on the scheduler. As you are scheduling out shifts, you can see in the details, there is a job site menu where you can pick the location of that shift. And the employee will know that, hey, I have to go to Nicollet Mall today for my shift, and that is where I am going to clock in and out. One great thing about job sites that is really helpful to a lot of accounts that want to have all of their employees on one scheduling grid are different options for viewing and filtering the schedule. So let's say you want to have everything in one view, but you also want to narrow down so you can see those different job sites. One of those tools would be viewing shift colors by job site. This will highlight all of the shifts that are at a particular job site. So I have a nice, easy view of where employees are going for the day. We also have a job sites filter, which will filter out all of the job sites that are not what you selected. So for example, if I just want to see who is scheduled at Mears Park, I can click that and I will only see the employees who are scheduled for that Mears Park job site in my view.
Filters option is super awesome. It's so handy. Gives you a great overview of each location when you're using job sites. Our next question is, how do I copy a shift? So it sounds like we're onto our awesome shortcuts.
Awesome. All right. So as you are creating shifts on the schedule, you may want to copy a shift exactly how it is and assign it to another employee. What you can do is hold down the control key on your computer, Command if you are on a Mac, and you can click the shift and that will make a copy that you can then drag and drop into any cell on the scheduler. Those thumbs up and thumbs down icons are going to help guide you. So for example, that thumbs up is going to appear when my employee is assigned to the team lead position, and it will show a thumbs down icon when I try to assign it to somebody who is not a team lead. So this is a great way to help guide your scheduling. A few of the other options we offer for copying and speeding up scheduling are our copy previous week or day option. And this can be done if you head to the next week out on the scheduler. Let's say I want exactly the same schedule as I had last week. I can simply click this wrench icon, select copy previous week. If there's any conflicts, already scheduled shifts on the schedule that might overlap, I can choose what I want to do with that. Since I don't have any, I'll just do allow. And then that copies right over into the current week on the scheduler. And then you can publish that out to your employees so they are notified of their shifts. Another great way to copy schedules is our schedule template option. So instead of just copying to the week directly after, you can basically take a snapshot of your scheduler as it is and apply it to any week in the past or future. So to do this, you will build out your schedule exactly how you want it saved. Press the wrench icon up here and select Save as New Template. There you can name it and add a description, decide if you want to include any repeating shifts in that. And then when we head to a different week on the scheduler, we will click that wrench again and select Load Template. There you can select your template, and just like that, you can apply those shifts to the scheduler. So that's a great way to speed up scheduling if you have a similar schedule week to week. I've also seen this work really well with workplaces that have schedule rotations. So you could create a new template for week 1, week 2, week 3, and then just apply those in order. Another way I have seen schedule rotations or schedules that repeat managed is through our repeating shifts option. So as you are creating a shift on the scheduler, you will see this repeat shift option on the bottom. You can check that to open up the repeating options. You can repeat the shift every week to every 6 weeks, out to a year in advance. So that's a great way to also manage those rotating schedules if you have them.
Awesome. Our next question comes from Crystal. Can we track PTO and vacation time through the app?
Absolutely. Let me show you how that is done. So underneath our request section or tray icon here, you will see the option to request time off. So employees will see something very similar on their end when they are logged in on a computer. They can also submit time off requests from the mobile apps as well. So you can add a time off request on behalf of an employee or one for yourself. And then you can choose what kind of time off you want to offer. So by default, we do have holiday, personal, and sick, which can be paid or unpaid. So you can enter that in, press send request. And since I am the admin, that is automatically approved and added to the scheduler for the day. I am going to hop over to my general settings so I can show you some of the customization options we offer with time off requests. The first big one that I know people ask about all the time is, can I review those time off requests before approving them for my employees? Absolutely. We have 2 settings for this: require approval for employees, require approval for supervisors. So I have both of these checked, meaning that both users at the employee and supervisor level, once they submit that time off request, it's going to be routed to me as a manager, and I can either allow or deny that request. We also have days notice required for time off, max paid hours per day. And then we also have the options to toggle on and off the different types of time off that you would like to offer. So if you don't offer a paid holiday, then you can just uncheck that, press save, confirm, and that won't show up as an option for employees to request off. One of my favorite things about the time off request section is that we have made it super customizable to fit the needs of your workplace.
Great. Our next question is, how can my employees clock in?
Great question. All right. I love talking about our time clock and attendance add-on to our scheduling product. It works seamlessly with scheduling to track those worked hours of employees. So I am going to hop into the attendance settings to help illustrate the different options that we offer. The first of which is probably our most popular because it really gives employees the time clock in their hand. It gives them the flexibility to clock in and out and take control of their timesheets. And that is our clock in with mobile app option. When that is turned on, employees can download the When I Work app for iOS or Android, and they will have a clock in, clock out, take lunch button on their dashboard that they can use to record their work times. You can also enable a location restriction for clock in, clock out, or both. This just means that the employee needs to be near that address entered in their schedule or job site for the day in order to clock in. So this completely puts you at ease. You don't have to worry about employees, clocking in and out from the bus or from the parking lot. You can set it to where your employees need to be for clocking in and out. Our next option is the personal computer option. This is really great if you maybe work at an office and employees are all at their desks with their own computers. Employees can open up a browser, log into their When I Work profile, and simply hover over the attendance menu and select clock in. You can also restrict the location to an IP address, so you can ensure that employees are clocking in from the right place. IP addresses are going to be added to your schedules in this little IP address section. And if you are sitting at the place where you want your employees to clock in, you can just press this "I'm at this location" button, and that will automatically fill in your IP address. So it's very easy to set up and get started with those computer clocking. The last option that we offer that's always on because it's set up by a manager admin is the time clock terminal option. So a time clock terminal is the clocking option that we offer that's most like a traditional time clock in that employees will clock in and out at this central location. This can be set up on a computer by pressing Lock as Time Clock, or else we also have time clock specific apps for iOS and Android that will let you set up that device as a time clock terminal. So when you set that up, it's going to look just like this. It's going to have the current time, the name of the schedule, and employees can then enter their email address that's in their profile or the employee ID set in their advanced details to clock in and out.
Our attendance options are so great. Personally, mobile is my favorite. It just really is right there in your hand. It's so awesome. Our next question comes from Amber. Question is, how can employees find substitutes for shifts they are wanting covered? And how does that work for the system? And how does approval work?
Awesome question. All right, let's pop into those scheduling settings so we can go over our shift coverage options. We have a few different shift coverage options that can help you manage the finding replacements for shifts. You can toggle them on or off depending on which ones you want to offer to employees, but we'll go over all of them right now. So releasing shift, this means that an employee is assigned a shift and they can drop that shift into the open shifts row of the scheduler. So any eligible coworker can pick up that shift. Dropping, the original assigned employee is able to drop that shift and it notifies directly other employees saying, hey, can you cover this shift? And one of the coworkers can pick up that shift and that shift is automatically transferred to their schedule. Swapping is a one-for-one swap of a shift for a shift with a coworker. Only shifts that the employees are eligible to work are allowed to be swapped. So you don't have to worry about somebody who is not able to work a certain position or role switching shifts with somebody. And then we have the require manager approval for swaps and drops. This makes it so if an employee starts and initiates a drop request, first it's going to go to a management level user that the management level user can then approve or deny before it gets sent over to the coworkers to drop.
So many great questions today, and that's all the time we have.
Awesome. That time flew by. Thanks everybody for your questions. We are just going to go over a few more things on plans and how to get in contact with us. So as far as plans, we wanted to make it as easy as possible by offering two main plans, our small business plan and our enterprise plan. So our small business scheduling plan includes all of those scheduling features that we went over today. So access to the scheduler, team member availability, communication tools, those shift coverage options, notifications. You can set up as many schedules and job sites as you like. And then we also have some of those more advanced features like auto scheduling, task management, and shift bidding, all included in the scheduling portion of the plan. So this small business plan is usually a good fit for workplaces with less than 100 employees. If your workplace exceeds 100 employees, we do also offer an enterprise level plan. And this just has some features that are specifically designed to accommodate larger teams. So features like single sign-on, global privacy, access to the API are included in the enterprise plan. If you are interested in any of those enterprise features or are expected to grow above 100 employees, feel free to reach out to us and we can provide you some more information. If none of those enterprise features are necessary for you and your team, you can also use our small business plan beyond 100 employees. There's not a hard cap on employees for that plan. So that was our scheduling section. In addition to that, our attendance product can be added onto the scheduling plan. This includes all of the time tracking features that we went over today. So all of those clocking methods, the location enforcement for those clocking methods, timesheets, ability to record paid and unpaid breaks, all the exports that we offer, including that custom timesheet exports, and then access to any of our payroll integrations are included in the attendance add-on. So if you would like to preview or mock up your pricing, you can do that by logging into your account on the web. From there, you are going to head to the account and billing page found underneath the gear menu on the toolbar. You're going to press upgrade my account, then check out to activate. I know that's kind of an intimidating button to press, but I promise nothing will be purchased or changed until you press purchase and you add in that billing info. On the modify account screen that appears, you can adjust the number of user spots for the plan, turn on the time clock and attendance add-on, and also toggle on annual billing if you need that. So by default, we offer a monthly billing cycle, but that annual switch can be enabled to pay upfront for a year of service. The annual billing cycle also provides a 5% discount as compared to the monthly billing cycle. So I usually suggest that if you're not quite sure that you're going to use When I Work Long Term, you start out on that monthly billing cycle. And then when you are ready to commit to a long-term plan, you turn on annual billing to help save a little. So if you have any questions about what plan is the best fit for you or any of our features, do not hesitate to reach out to us. You can get in contact with us from within your account by pressing this little chat button in the bottom corner that will direct you to myself, Tiffany, or our coworker Marie, and we will help answer any questions that you have. We also have a wonderful need help section that you can access in the sidebar over here. When you press need help, you will have access to our wonderful help center with articles that go through everything that is possible to do on the account. We also have a great training center that has guides and video tutorials of how to get set up either from a management or employee perspective. So be sure to check that out. Tiffany is also going to send a list of resources in that chat section that we used earlier. Feel free to copy and paste those into a Word doc or a notes app to save it for later. That list has more information on getting started, our plans and pricing, and a link to those training resources as well. All right, so we have made it to the end of our session, and I just want to wrap up by saying thank you so much for joining us today, and thank you for all of your fabulous questions. Again, do not hesitate to reach out to us if you need anything. Our team is here to help. I hope everybody has a wonderful rest of their Thursday and a great start to their weekend.